Coming up on Mountain News this morning, rescuers were able to save a man who was missing for more than 2 weeks. And one Kentucky woman was able to save the life of her husband after learning CPR.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. It is 6:30 this Monday morning, and Tim mentioned that maybe I wasn't so happy about the rain, and I would like to say I did enjoy the time period when we were without it, but it's back. So let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Jawbridge for a look at your forecast.
You're just saying you love the sunshine. That's all right, Madison. You know what? It's been dry the last few months. We do need some rain. We're going to play a little catch up this week. So needless to say, not too many, or at least not significant bright skies over the next several days. All right, mid-60s outside our door. It's a wet start, and not only with the rainfall, a little fog in spots too, so the visibility is running low. Temperature-wise, we are at 66 here in Hazard, and the pinpoint Doppler radar showing things lightening up across our southern counties south as you make your way toward Harlan over to Norton. Good bursts of rain, though, along and east of 75 from London down toward the Tennessee line. Here's this burst of rain now north of Hyndman, south of Royalton, tracking toward Prestonsburg, northern portions of Breathitt County out toward St. Helens. And again, this continues to track northeastward, so a number of us will continue to deal with these bursts of heavier rain. We'll get a break mid to late morning, and then we refire with the breaks of sunshine this afternoon. A high in Hazard up to 80. First Alert 7-day forecast, that's coming up in this half hour. Madison?
Tim, thank you. A 48-year-old man was missing in the Red River Gorge for 2 weeks. Scott Hearn of Ohio was last heard from in early June. Officials with the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team went on several searches beginning early last week. Chief John May says they eventually found him with help from other agencies and hikers.
So like beyond Bells Falls and so forth, and even up above Sal's Branch waterfalls we were checking. And when we put a team into Bells Falls, they noticed a track when they got way up in there, and also a walking stick mark. And we knew he had a walking stick. One of the eyewitnesses that had seen him on the 6th reported him using a walking stick.
May says a lot of work went into finding Hearn, and also says it is important to hike safely and responsibly, especially when alone. He says you should always plan out your routes and be sure to have flashlights and plenty of food and water. May adds it is important to tell people where you are going and when you plan to be back.
But just some basic things to do, you know, do a little research on the trail that you're going to be going out on. Make sure you know where it goes. Marked trails are your best option. If you get on unmarked trails or unofficial trails, you know, there's really no blazing out there for that. So you're kind of just finding your way. And a lot of those trails have little offshoots that go different places, and that can get you spun up, you know, spun around pretty quick.
May says it is important to download a map of the trail on your phone or print it out in case you lose cell service or your phone dies. A 3-year-old was taken to UK Chandler Hospital Saturday morning after being hit by a vehicle. Officials say the incident happened on Trout Court just around 12 p.m. The child is said to have life-threatening injuries. Police say the collision reconstruction unit and the forensic services unit were called to the scene and are investigating the incident. A Jeep was reported stolen to the Laurel County Sheriff's Office on Sunday. The Jeep Rubicon that you can see here was reportedly stolen from Slate Ridge Road, that is 7 miles south of London. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office is still investigating. Anyone who has seen this vehicle or has information is asked to contact the Laurel County Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600. And a man was found dead after being trapped under an ATV in Knox County Saturday morning. Police say family members of the man last talked to him Friday afternoon when he said he was going to get lumber. Family members reportedly searched for him throughout the night Friday. The man, 59-year-old James Vaughn of Swan Pond, was found on Rufus Mills Ridge off of Kentucky South 11 in Barberville. The sheriff's office says it is still investigating. A man is still alive because his wife was able to save him using CPR. Now she's urging others to learn the life-saving skill. Samantha Valentino has the story.
Melissa and Philip McIntyre have been together for 20 years. Their lives were forever changed on July 10th, 2022. What Philip initially thought to be heartburn turned out to be a heart attack. He collapsed inside their home.
As he started to go down, I just kind of grabbed his shoulders, assisted him to the floor, and immediately began compressions.
Melissa, a nurse practitioner with Baptist Health, had just renewed her CPR certification 10 days prior. She and her neighbor, a physician's assistant, performed high-quality CPR for 10 minutes until EMS arrived. Philip was without a pulse for an hour and a half. He spent 65 days recovering in the hospital.
Yeah, it was a long hospital stay and then rehab and physical therapy afterwards, but it was amazing to hear the story once it got told to me about how my wife saved me.
Now, Philip says he's able to do everything he could do before his heart attack, something Melissa says is hard to believe given the severity of what he went through.
Completely unheard of that anyone survives that, much less has a, great recovery like he has, is truly unheard of. So we do feel like CPR saved him, and he's a miracle.
You don't have to be a trained professional like Melissa to use CPR to save a life. For this couple, encouraging others to learn CPR has become a passion.
If you can learn CPR, to learn it, it's very important, and you never know who you might be able to save one day, and that I'm very lucky.
In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Thank you.
Over the weekend, thousands of flights were canceled or delayed due to a nationwide CrowdStrike crash. Flight struggles were no different for one Kentucky man, so he took matters into his own hands and found another way to get home. Christian Muncie was heading home to Lexington from a work trip in Philadelphia when things came to a grinding halt. Muncie's plane to Charlotte, North Carolina eventually ended up taking off, but once he landed, he missed his connecting flight to Lexington.
That's when stuff was being released, just through news and stuff like that, that there was a software malfunction. And I didn't even actually get back on a plane. I actually rented a U-Haul, a 10-foot box truck.
Feeling like he was out of options to get back home, Muncie hit the road in the U-Haul. He made it home Friday evening. In total, he says he spent more than 24 hours trying to get back to the Bluegrass State. Back to school season is just around the corner, and health officials say now is the time to start preparing for back to school vaccines. Doctors with the American Academy of Family Physicians say you should get your child vaccinated now because it can take weeks for the vaccine protection to develop. One of the latest concerns is measles. As of last week, 167 measles cases were reported in 24 states this year alone.
It is frightening, and we want to make sure that families, and particularly families who have children, know that those illnesses are preventable with vaccines that are available in your family physician's office every day.
Officials also say to keep flu vaccines on your mind as well, but any other vaccines each child will need varies due to age. Yesterday, 2 interns with the Cowan Creek Community Center hosted a Community Unity Glow 5K at the Whitesburg Farmers Market. The 5K is a part of a bigger project for Mackenzie Adams and Kiara Shepard to tell a story that they are passionate about. The two decided as a part of their story was their love for bringing the community together and getting people outside and enjoying Whitesburg.
The 5K ain't really a part of our story. It's mainly just getting people out and about and, enjoying nature and enjoying Whitesburg. And there were a few people here today that haven't been in Whitesburg much, and I think that's just a great thing that happens.
The 5K was a fundraiser for the Letcher County Oasis Project, whose goal is helping to bring fresh, clean water to Neon.
Good Monday morning to you. Temperature-wise, mid-upper 60s, close to 70 in a lot of locations. 70 in London, 70 as you make your way toward Jonesville. And the pinpoint Doppler radar showing the one wave of rain that initially came through a few hours ago now, getting into southern portions of West Virginia. Got a good burst of rain just to the west of Jackson. And this will continue to track in toward Breathitt County. In fact, as you make your way from Breathitt, Lee, Owsley, and Powell counties, we do have a flood advisory extended until 8 o'clock. We'll show you that in the next weather hit. As to the north and west, this is where the widespread rainfall is as you make your way toward Powell and Fayette counties, and as you make your way toward Montgomery County to boot too. The travel forecast for today, again, we have the heavy rainfall potential that's playing out in a lot of locations this morning. We'll get a break and then we refire for the drive home. A forecast high with the breaks of sunshine up to 80. More about the 7-day forecast in just a few moments. Addison.
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. The Secret Service is expected to get seared today as Congress begins its probe into the handling of the attempted assassination on former President Trump.